Okay, we are now live. This is part 59 of the game engine coding live stream, part 4 of the file loading. So, since yesterday, spoke with her dingens, and we're going to make some improvements to the engine. So we're going to abstract some of the features out. Make sure it's committed. Yeah, that's just, well, that's not really the project itself. So, for starters, we're not going to be able to open and close files. That's going to be handled all inside the engine. So all you're going to be able to do is write to a file, get file, get file. That's all you're actually going to be able to do. So if we go to file manager now, there's going to be a bunch of, it's not errors. Okay, so realistically, when we say write to file, first of all, you need to specify the actual file path. So we need to create this right here, copy that, write to file, get file contents. Okay, so what we're going to do is grab that, and here we're going to put it. We're going to whack it here. I'm going to whack it here, and I'm going to whack it there. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we'll effectively do is at the start we'll say open file, file path, and we don't specify the access method. So we'll specify the access method here as writing, sorry, this is for writing. So access method writing, and do we specify create if doesn't exist, true, overwrite if exists as well. I really should put them in the other. So what we got here, I'm going to remove this. This is a bit too much, that is. Herdingen says hello, hello her, how you doing? So we're just doing that update that you suggested. Right, let me think about this. Right property. Hello, hope you thought about my suggestion. I did, and we're doing that right now. That's what we're literally doing. So first of all, this is going to produce a bunch of errors. We need to get rid of this. It might be not be good at all. Might not be. We'll see. Okay, access method writing, and we'll say what does he want next in the open file. He wants the creative doesn't exist, so creative doesn't exist. Then it wants overwrite if exists. So So we're going to do that, open file. Now we're going to say close file. Copy that again. And we'll just do this. Close file. Open file, read in file path. What was open file? File path, access method, and then those two. And we're going to say close file. Okay, so I think that should be it. So now you can only get status. Yeah, I will leave the status here as well. And that's really it. Guess we're ready to give it a test. We can't open the file now. The get file contents, we need to specify a file, so it's resources / hello.txt. Write to file, it's going to be that. And we're not closing the file anymore. Let's give this a run, shall we? Hey Emma. Hey Dingen says hello.
Hello.
Okay, so grab my phone. Okay, still building successfully so far. Okay. Okay, so let me try running that again. Yes, it's looking good now. So print it off. So we get doing the dash dash dash. Then we write to it, and then it. Okay, it's looking pretty good then. Okay, so that's fine. That seems to be all good. Doesn't seem to be any heavier on the memory. I guess you're opening the file to write with iOS : trunk. Yes, I believe I am. Trunk, there we go. And yeah, so all that's handled over here. And now in the to do we can remove that. I want to add a CSV parser now. I just want to implement one like the XML stuff. I'm not really fussed about it beyond that. And CSV parser, let me Google that. Yeah, once again, I want to make a note on the whiteboard here. Bought a whiteboard, everyone, so I can make notes for stuff, including the engine stuff. And this is an engine related. So let's have a look. So CSV parser, just put in CSV parser. Need to actually put in C++. Yeah, so something simple. Don't want to be compiling stuff. I want to be able to just drop in like a header and a CPP file. If it's just header, that'd be better. But basically, what I want to be able to do. Frozen ice cream cone at Alicia. Did you see that? So they're writing their own parser, but I just want to. They go fast CPP parser. I think that might be the one that I was gonna bend one. I think I'm gonna stick with this one. This is literally just a header file. That looks great. That's what I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna download this. There's no releases, so just download this. How old is this anyway? 5 months of the CSV. The actual header file. Okay, so let's show in Finder. And now header only stuff. It does so much. It is so much better. Let's just have a quick look at the README just to make sure. Okay, I've got the README there. Why am I opening it in here? Let's give us an include then. Let's grab that, copy that, and we need to go over to the code folder, include engine external, and we'll just whack it here, and we'll include that bad boy now. Okay, so give us a quick build in here. I'm gonna put hash include external CSV. It's all here. I should just put more here, shouldn't I? Let me just grab that. So we need collision. do we need it? Because I've used it somewhere else, haven't I? We don't want that here. We don't want gamepad here as well, but we do want CSV and we do want PGXML. PGXML and CSV. CSV. PG, let's give it a build. Splash date. Got a bunch of warnings, nothing to do with us anyway. Okay, so if I was to basically just try and do this. Don't think I have that example CSV file. So if I was to put that here, so I'm gonna get rid of this now, all this stuff. Shouldn't leave it. If I give that a run, there's no file there called that. Hopefully that don't break it. I just want to see nothing else that we need to do as well. And then if that's done, we can get on to getting a Json parser. But before we do, I need to go to the credits.md and actually whack in the actual parser we're using, which is we're in some error, aren't we? Is it because of the open file? Is because let me give that no run. Let's do it properly. Skip. Don't mind about the same thing again. Is it this this morning on? Yeah, I think it might just be because the format is incorrect. Yeah, the format is incorrect. That's all it is. That's fine. That's all good. Okay, so we can get rid of that. CSV is done now. Let's get a Json parser up as well. Json Parser C++, and 1 second, I need to look at what this was. What is it called? Ben Strasser CSV Parser. I want this to permanently open in Sublime. I'm just assuming that their parser works, and as long as there's no error on just loading the file, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's fine. Some of that might come back to bite me, but so I'm just doing it for the external stuff. Okay, so He assumed me enough do stuff, but he's very brave when he comes to coding. I know, very brave indeed. Gotta have a bit of faith in humanity. Okay, so Json Parser. Just gotta find a Json Parser and do basically the same thing now. This one looks pretty big. As long as this is simple, easy installation, though. There's a single file required. Need to add. What they're doing angle brackets. I don't like. Unless do we have to do that or don't we? Let's grab hold of this. So let's go to release. So the latest release is this one here. What's all this? Grab that. Oh, there's nothing bad about the angle brackets in include. It's just when I see that, it's obviously been linked in the settings, and like my mind immediately thinks, okay, if it's been linked in settings, there needs to be some extra linking going on. But that's not always the case. They might just be adding like a library or header search path or whatever it's called. Yeah, in reality that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess not always, no extra linking required. Come on, discover the files. I can delete it and then I'll have a look at what we got. I like to use them to machine my own in project includes two external clips. That is true. I do. That is a nice way of doing it as well. Yeah. I've just whacked him in a folder called external, so anything that's in the external folder is, well, obviously external. This is big. Okay, so while that sorts that out, let's unzip this. Let's unzip this one. And then after this, I think it's high score stuff that we're going to get on to. Really looking forward to the high score loading system, name, date, and time and score. That's all we need. Copy that, and we're going to go to our project, go to the code folder, include engine external, whack it over here, it's json.hpp, and go over here. Yeah, it's because it's a built-in library file, like it's a built-in file. I like to think of it as a library file. Okay, so Json Parser done. It's included. So high score. So let's have a look what other people have done. C++ high score. I did something. I've done stuff. One of the top videos to come up is my one. And then we've got a Caleb code. Caleb's videos are good as well. So let's check what he's saying.
Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to your C++ tutorial series. What are we going to be doing? Situation. The easiest is to just say, hey, you can't use number. Get a little easier to. We got a lot. May or may not.
Yeah, I agree. High score is very simple. I'm just gonna have a look what's out there because there might be something really advanced out there. I've already got stuff written for it. We're gonna check it out, and then I actually plan on re-implementing what I've done previously from uni, so you guys can see and I can improve on it. But I just want to see what other people have done. It'll help get some ideas. Plus, on top of that, you'll learn to see if somebody's actually done something major like a library, and if they haven't, it could be something that I can sort of abstract outside of the engine, potentially. Doesn't look like anybody's done anything major. Nope. Okay, so this is what I've got from my uni days. First of all, let's delete this. Yes, the format of my projects back in the day was subpar at best. I wonder if I can actually run this project. So let me actually try and launch this up in Visual Studio. See if it'll run. Not too sure if it will. Let's have a look. And let's have a look. It should be nothing in the release folder, but in the debug folder it might. Let's have a look, shall we? Cannot be found. Yes, let's upgrade it. Sorry, the high score stuff. So yeah, that was just a bunch of numbers. I think what I did was okay, so they were already back in the days. I might be able to just run my uni project from Yeah. Nope. There might be other. Forget that. So let's just check this high score H and high score CPP. This is what I implemented back in uni. So you could set a high score, you could save a high score, and then we obviously use the streams, but we would just access our. I'm basically doing what you're saying here, right here. Open the file, do what you need to do for the file, then close it. So high score. Yeah, a bunch of things I can think of right here that we can use to improve this. Yeah, we'll redo it from scratch. So I'm just gonna give this a commit. So CSV Json Parser installed. Did I update the crazy IMD? I can't remember if I did. Ben Strasser CSV. And who did I do for the JSON? High score table is basically just a map of unsorted map of name points. Unsorted. Yeah, might use a different like map or some other data type might be better. I'll have a look. I will have a look. Okay, let's save that. Shall we? Let's give this a. I was going to say update, commit, push origin. So what we'll do. And it's in engine. It is a manager of sorts. High score manager. Call it high score manager. Or even just a vector of string name is the points. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. And is high score with capital F? Yeah, it's 2 words with capital S then. Okay, so first of all, let's just add this to our project. Let's add the include. Okay, so let's open this up. Wrong file. Close input. Close. Mine's only file manager. And we're gonna say input, not managers. Let's go. Got a bunch of things to update in here. For starters, let's remove all this code here. Let's remove all of this code over here. And remove all of that. And it's going to record high score manager. Got to change the include as well. Give that a build, that should still work. Okay, so build succeeded. Free lock. Check if high score is enough. Okay. Doesn't really provide much context. Okay, so the features that we're gonna need for our high score, literally, so high score. Load scores from a file. And the format will be name, new line, so I'm going to say new line score. So that's going to be the format. I'm going to say write score to file, and obviously we'll need to back up old, update, and then write to file. Override, we've already got the override feature built in, so that's great. We don't need to concern ourselves with that. I want to say set maximum number of high scores. What else could we do for high score stuff? Or even better, if you create a struct player data that just contains name and points, and then you have a vector of play data inside your higher score man, override equals overwrite. Did I? Gee, that's keep saying over. Right? Did I literally? I know you mentioned it before. Then I forgot file manager. Now if you were in here, that I kept saying overwrite. Override? Nah, I already updated it in here. overwrite. Okay, so that's fine. So I've already done all this work on the file manager. Now it's the high score manager. So what I was thinking of, you would have the name, date, time, and score. But I think potentially date time could be useful. Even the date on the time header file. Can I get the current time, or is that just time based? I think it's purely just, nah, don't want that. So clock, that don't help. Let's have a look. As for now, the current time. Oh, if I could just get the, what's that value called? Code in time number. What's it called? The epoch time. Yes. See if I just get epoch time. std colon time. So print out let's, yeah, some good suggestions here. Let's see if this works and how it works. I can close it down. So if we go to splash state, and if in here I'll whack this in, and in hash include, do I need the extra include? For time? C time. Seconds, it gets in seconds. See, that's a bit awkward, that is. Try and do that. I'm literally going to whack that, abstract that into our time. Create it as a static int real long get current date slash time current epoch date time date. Do you really need this thing time thingy? No, don't really need it, but I think it's a good feature to have in the engine. So I was like, let's just implement it while right here. So we need this. So we're gonna say hash include c time, c time, and we can get rid of this. Put std there. We can get rid of that, and we can return that, and if I just do that instead. Okay, so long. I think that's all we need to actually return is a long. Okay, so we're gonna return. Can I just return that? SPD log current column info time, get current epoch date time. Let's give that a quick run and let's see what we get. Should hopefully get like 16 something. So that's CSV stuff. Well, it's coming out that for now. Nope, did not print anything out. Result is the one we want. Yeah, so many warnings. It's yes, that's worked great now. Okay, so those warnings are because of all this external stuff. So for now, the external stuff, I'm not gonna have in there just to prevent any, just bunch of stuff, and I'll put it in afterwards. Okay, so done. So if we go up to high school manager, you want to be able to what do I also want to be able to do? I'll whack this on the list. Check if score is bigger than a vector of scores provided. Because if let's say we have got scores from somewhere else and we don't want to actually save them, just want to check if this other number, maybe it's 10 scores, this other number, I want to see if it's actually bigger than them. Then we want to handle that as well. I feel like that would be a useful feature to have. So let's say void get scores. This won't be, just do hash define CRT secure, no warnings for your project, and also warnings from other projects will be gone. I'll try that. Hash define underscore CRT underscore secure underscore no warnings. Oh, thank you very much. Let's give this a run, see if don't get any of those errors now, and then we'll go back as well. We can get rid of time, don't need that. Yo, those errors are still coming up in some serious veracity here. Let's have this put it in a wrong place. Yeah, I know what that's for. That doesn't seem to work. Okay, so first of all, we need to have the high score. So I'm going to say std colon vector std. So if we are doing the name, the score, the time, or name down the score, name times score. So string number. There isn't something like, I want something like a pair, but for 3 numbers these days. If not, I'll have to just use vector. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back. Use a tuple, you were saying? Okay, not bad idea. Colon tuples. Tuples. I forgot how we use a tuple of a block. std colon tuple. Use a struct for it. Oh, that's true. Yeah, let's try that. Struct. What are we calling it? What we call it? We're calling it score. And in here, we're gonna have a std colon string underscore name. I'm gonna have a long for date time, and then we're gonna also have a long score, depending on what type of data type you're having for. I mean, score info, yeah, that's a pretty cool name. Score info, and we say underscore scores. So now we're gonna say not a bad idea. What about for daytime? Can we get a minus for epoch? Can epoch be minus? I guess not. I guess. Oh, I guess it could be like before this date. Nope, no negative time. Yeah, I guess not really for that. Either. Unsigned long blah 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 score blah blah blah. We're gonna say score info get scores. Create implementation. We should specify the actual file as well. So we're going to say const std colon string ampersand file path. So we're going to say return underscore scores, and we're gonna say we're gonna put the file manager here. We don't need any of this so far, so I'm gonna put hash include, and it is in managers file manager, and we're gonna say file manager dot get file contents file path. Why is that not actually working? Oh yeah, it needs to be of this, don't it? And that but shouldn't get score, just return scores already loaded into memory. So basically that should just return the vector of scores. Yeah, I guess that's a good idea. I'll rename this to load scores. There we go. Load scores. So this won't return. This will literally be a void. This will be a void. Okay, so what we got? Oh, so good. So yeah, no return now. So get file contents, and we're gonna say auto scores is that. And now what we need to do is loop over it based on this format that we have set. Say for score file data auto line score file data. I'm going to say for every line, so we'll just basically say underscore scores this every 3 lines, isn't it? So cause what we would do is if I create a score file, if I rename that, and if I get that, let's put in Rahan. That's the epoch time I'm going to put in. Score I'm going to put in 100. Let's just copy this format. So I'm going to say Batman's next. Then Yoda. Then Darth Vader. And then Sodam Dat. Yat or Dat, I can't remember how you spell it. Sodam Dat. Sodam Yat. Sodam Yat. Okay, so Sodam Yat. $90, $70, $60, $40. That's sort of format it's going to be. So it's every 3. Yeah, in a struct like that, you won't have any lines at all. But again, we'll be saving it like this, so we'll just pass it in. You know, the first 3 lines will be one struct, and the second 3 lines will be another struct, etc., etc. But we'll just say, I'll say counter int. See, that's unsigned int. Unsigned int. Counter equals 0. Counter plus plus. And we're going to say counter. So if it's the what do we do? So it's 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's basically what it is. You would basically just write the structure for each player one after another. What do you mean? I don't get what you mean. I don't see what the significance is here at the moment. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we'll say is, so if you do modulus 3 and you get nothing remaining, if name hey, what's up, Cool Glow 6 says I'm all good. Just think about how you would instantiate the score info struct. I still don't get the significance of that relative to what I'm doing here. I'll be back in a second though. I will be back. So hopefully you're all good. Cool glow stick. Okay, and we are back. Okay, so what we got? We've got a few new messages.
Are we asking where you went?
I don't know. Would you know the answer? Somebody just said, would you know the answer, but then asked the question. Like play data, you call da. Yeah, that's fine. From a C++ quiz, dude here knows his stuff. He does. Then you store the play data in high score. Yeah, that's what we plan on doing. And each object in that directory just contains score info struct that you can iterate through. Any high score there will contain the data, not line by line, but one after. But for that approach, you can't use std in your struct because that will crash when loading. The answer is 42. Now, in the actual thing, I'm going to store it line by line. What I could do is potentially leverage the CSV external file. I'll store your CSVs. I mean, at the end of the day, once it's stored, it's stored. If people start messing with it, that's, they don't read Douglas Adams. Because at the end of the day, once it's stored, it's stored. So that's the name. So let's have a look. Name, date. No. Date, score, name, date, score. Let's see this one. So 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, and 8. You forgot the score. Yep, I just noticed that. I'm going to spread it out a bit just so I can visualize a bit more. So yeah, if it's 0, then it'll be in the name. So if it's for the date, if we do modulus 3 and we get a 1, yeah, we get a 1. Else if 1 equals counter modulus 3, that's the date. Else if, I guess it'll be 2 equals counter modulus 3, that's the score. What we're going to say, is we're going to create the struct right here. No, not here. Can't be creating it here, can we? And we will say score info. We'll say score info dot name equals line. The other stuff needs to be parsed, doesn't it? We need to parse it from, how do you do that again? So C++ parse string to int. Usually there are some nice convert to a number type, so instead of, you can use s string to I. I mean, if you can just do that, that's pretty sweet, to be fair, you know. Hey, it's pretty darn sweet. Let's give this a test. So if I say int y equals that, if I say, I don't know, 67, and I say std, just cast the read string to std epoch, time epoch. Yeah, we could potentially do that, but we have to do something for the number anyway. So cout I, and then I'm going to say I times by 2. So if we do this, we should get 67 colon 134. And if we do, we're all good and we can proceed. Dad ran and he was gonna bring the silent round, but
Sorry?
Dad.
Was it?
Yeah, but he said he'll bring it around tomorrow because we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna have pizza.
Okay, that's fine.
So he's bring it around tomorrow because we don't need it today.
That's fine.
And he was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Live stream." Like, "Oh, bye, sorry." Case stays how you will stores time as a long. Yep, that works. Ooh, so much easier to do something like that. std s STOI. So score info dot underscore date time equals std STOI score info dot underscore score equals same principle STOI underscore score underscore score. What am I talking about? Line. And then if we've got to here, then we would actually push it. Then we would do underscore scores dot push back score info, and then we'll just say underscore scores dot underscore name equals score info. It just basically overwrites it. Or can I not do that? I'll do new. I doubt it because it's not a pointer. I'll just can we do that? No, I can't. Dot underscore name score equals score info. Actually, can do it on here. There, I can. We literally store the time as long int. Mom said you can't see Budgie. Mom said she can't see they can't see you. If you come over here, they can see you.
We were worrying about not seeing you earlier. Now they want to see me.
Over there in that corner.
Oh, I'll budge up.
Bro, that was like half an inch, bro. Just rotate around so you're facing the other way.
Is this okay?
You tell me.
I'll check.
Not really. You gotta get onto that seat.
Oh, okay.
Like onto the actual the seat.
Okay.
So can you see my laptop screen there? Your daughter is more important than the son-in-law. I don't know.
You said that?
Huh? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
My mum, I think she loves Farhan more.
Yes, she loves me more.
She vocalizes it definitely.
I will go now. Alicia.
That's all I wanted to say.
She's behaving
She's
today.
behaving this time now. It's because Mum told her off yesterday.
What did she say?
I told her about the tarantula question she posed, and I was like, "Why are you doing that for?"
Or randomly.
Yeah.
Or is
She
it like?
got told off.
Oh. Don't worry, Alicia. I'll grow my hair as well. And we can all have ponytails. Munna really wants me to have a ponytail.
No, it's not that.
She say and like a beard. She's saying I can look
No.
one of those hipster guys.
No. No way.
Yeah, bro. Come on. Let's load scores. You're already pushing. You mean this line? No, that line's just to reset the score info every single time. Actually, I guess technically there will be no overwrite. Yeah, I guess it wasn't for that purpose, but I guess there will be no overwrite because it can't push it in until it overwrites the other phrase. So that's calm. We don't need to touch that. Now let's actually do void get scores, and this needs to be std colon vector score info. What am I doing? This needs to be a const. Have I missed that out on a few areas where some of them should have been a const? Yes, I missed it out here. saying that, could I even do this as a const? I've had that messing around with stuff. Like the yeah, we can't do that because technically modification is happening. That's fine, we can't do that. Yeah, getter should always be const. Some of those are the ones we couldn't do const because we were you know, messing around with closing and loading the file, so that's fair enough. But apart from that, we should be all good. Get scores. Let me implement this. That should just be a quick and easy return. Return underscore scores. So we've got no writing at the moment, so let's just see if this works. So we should be able to just actually see if it works right here. If we say high score manager, high dot load scores. I want to call it from file. I think that's a more accurate representation of what the name is. Okay, so high score manager. Oh yeah, we're at here. No, we're here. So load, I'm gonna say std. I'm gonna say auto scores equals high dot get scores. We need to actually put the file path in, so resources / scores.txt, I think it was. Scores.txt. And now I'm going to say spd. No. For. How are we going to go over this? It shouldn't be that difficult. It should just be auto score scores std : cout. I'm gonna say score dot name and we're gonna format it slightly differently. We're gonna say bracket. I'll say score dot date time and I'll say score dot score. Yeah, that should be ready to go. That should load our scores hopefully. So those two simple lines, we've got high scores. Got no writing done, but we'll get that done as well. It's nice to have all the get file content done separately. There we go. We got the loading of scores. That's score loading done. spd log trace. Is that how you do it? Ooh, that helps. Does it have to be traced? Can I not do info? That's the one I've just been using, but does it have to be traced like that? That would help. I was wondering how do you do it in spd log. Okay, so that's load scores done. Not linked. You can do trace info, yeah, whatever. Okay, that's good stuff. So write score to file, backup old. I'm gonna comment these now. No, that's not what I want. I want no return type, no parameter and no return type. The one parameter is a file path. File path of score file location. Load the scores from a local file. And now this is a return type, no parameters. I'm going to say get the scores, returns the saved, the scores loaded into memory, and this is just struct of scores. Name, date, time, and score. I'm gonna comment this one out on as well. Struct for each player's score info. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory what each one of them is. Okay, so let's give this a build. Doing well. Are we wrapping up in a second, everyone? Easily should know gone already. Now I don't have anybody to catch the ice cream with an ice cream cone. So tomorrow will be day 60. It's been a couple of months. I know I've missed days, so it's just over 2 months. But so save and loading. Slash and high scores. Part 7. Okay, that's all good. That's built. Let's commit this now. High scores. Reading done. Reading scores from a file done. Push to origin. So yeah, everyone, we will be wrapping up soon. So Q&A time. Q&A time. Okay, why not implement score saving? I'll be doing score saving tomorrow. I'll be implementing that tomorrow. Score saving. There's a couple of things I want to do with it, like the saving, the comparing the scores, and I think there's a couple of other high score based features. I'll just do that tomorrow, and I'll get that wrapped up. It's 8:30 now. We're gonna want to order some food as well, so rather just get all that wrapped up tomorrow. Done a pretty nice long stream again, an hour and a half. So progress is nice. So tomorrow, high scores will be done. Hopefully we should even touch on map. Should hopefully get that done by Monday. And then we'll be looking at GUI based stuff. Looking forward to that. It just looks like there's so much stuff here that I want for the GUI stuff, but it's gonna be really useful and really cool. Okay, so it's Q&A time, so a few minutes. Anyone's got any questions, now's the time. We'll wrap up in about 5 or so minutes. You're going to use a GUI library for that? 1 second, I'll answer. I'll answer in a second. Okay, so we got the full screen webcam on now, so we'll just put that at the end. And so is everyone so big? Even the lint.
It's what?
Even the lint is so big. Look,
You don't have the link.
you're covered now. You're literally covered.
Good. I'm not in the best outfit today, am I?
You want to show everyone your hoodie?
No.
Yeah, you got it right from my hoodie, man. My
Yeah, it's
hoodie.
your hoodie.
Yeah. It's a Legend of Pizza hoodie. Very warm. We need to coat.
Someone's loving the full screen though.
Yeah, but she is. She'll be like, just do this from now on. No coding. I'm new to coding, so what are we doing here? So this is coding a game engine. Okay, so yeah, who was saying the GUI stuff shit will take a lot of time. You're gonna use a GUI library for that. I don't think so. I remember when I was looking at some of the GUI libraries, I wasn't the biggest fan of them. SFML has GUI stuff built in, so I'll leverage that and build my own. But most likely, what I do have is so we're back to the small one. What I do have, we go into no, not that. The to do got a couple of links to stuff. So Hobson SFML game framework. So this Hobson guy, he does have a YouTube channel. Matthew Hobson does. Let me load up. Hobson, I think it's Hobson 97. So yeah, this guy. Definitely recommend checking this out. It does some pretty cool stuff, to be fair. What was the latest stuff? Okay, so it's been a while since he's uploaded. Joined back in 2015. Okay, so Portsmouth. Oh, that's UK based. So he's UK based guy. I'm pretty sure he did some GUI, something GUI. Open builder. That's looking pretty cool what he's achieved there with it.
Hello everybody, today I'm going to be creating some weather with and for them to download to open it in a standard vector. This is so I can
yeah, let's go. Okay, so they create this. We've got a video here.
About a week ago, I created a poll asking what game people wanted me to make for a video. Can I actually implement this kind of behavior? A given column of aliens.
Oh, he's just speeding it up.
Projectiles would be fired from. To do this, I could get a random column using it while simulating an explosion. So the force shield. Anyways, once again, thank you for watching Source.
What's he got for Pong? That'd be interesting. ImGUI, that's a good library for UI. I did chat with him one-on-one. How was he? We'll talk about anything interesting. Cartoon Head says hello, hello Cartoon Head. And ImGUI, have I come across that one? Oh, apparently I've already opened it before. And this looks very advanced in terms of what we've got. Oh, that is very advanced, that is. They use GIF to be an SDL2, so I'm guessing it won't work in with our project without adding those, I guess. So how would be the installation of this? That's a big factor. Doesn't really show.
Hey, what's up guys, my name is Trina. Well, namespace Hazel attach. There's a few GUI things we have to do, such as, it's a very basic implementation. GUI layer, that should be legit. Oh well, yeah, that's being said. Much has been set to 1280 by 720, that's great. Delta time is 16 milliseconds. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay, bad. Fantastic. So we have GUI here. We can't move anything, we can't interact with anything because we have no events, but
the one that needs multi-threaded implementation. Hey Root, been checking out your comment on the event system, nice suggestion. ImGUI rocks, you can use it on any renderer. How can you? The one that one needs more, yeah, I got that from One Line Coder. Form their networking library, hey Javid X9 rocks. Did he have some GUI stuff? That was a game framework more than anything. I just put that in, but does he actually have... So he's got some GUI stuff here. They're very basic stuff. So what's he got for the button? So we've got so this is on the assumption that we're going to be doing some sort of potentially a texture. It's not too bad what he's got here. Probably creating the buttons over here as well somewhere. Okay, it's a pretty simple one, but it's something. Menu system. Oh, it's my own menu? Oh, it's my own video. Oh yeah, this is the one where I think you can go up and down.
Class update.
Let's just mute that a second. Go up, down. Yeah, so that's all right, that is. And the other thing that I put in here. Okay, so FPS counter. This was the FPS. So in his thing, he does have some sort of FPS. Actually, we've got FPS. We've got FPS, so we can just grab that. We can't do any of that until really we get this done. Honestly, that one side, let me have a look. HTML, GUI, framework, C++, video game, GUI, library. Let's have a look what else is out there while we're here. I think there's one called 4 for SFML. It's meant to be very good. Oh, I've heard it's good. No, I think not too much hassle with all that stuff. Flat UI. A lot of cool stuff here. What was in parsers? I potentially could, especially for something like preferences. This could be useful. Got a bunch more comments. For MGUI, you have to give you a render content. Will render anything you want. Oh, that's cool. ACO can be a bit tricky. Sometimes put networking on hold. If you want FPS Counter, you can do delta timing and do one divided. I've got the FPS actually built in, so I would just need to whack the value that I get into a label and print that off. And once I've got that label stuff actually done, then doing that shouldn't be much of an issue. Okay, if you want fast counter, never use divisions. By the way, have you seen Travis series on the Vulkan game? Since you're into Vulkan, that might be interesting for you. No assist GUI sucks. I have not tried it. So what I'm actually thinking about doing, and I was thinking about doing it before, creating my own GUI system built on top of SFML. So abstracting the features from there. Some of it will just be a simple layer of abstraction. But then add in stuff like mouse support, keyboard support. So the mouse support, when you're hovering over an item, you can easily click on it. Obviously, you know, we'll be able to detect the click, and what we do will depend on us. Keyboard support, so if you have some sort of menu system, you can go up, down, and also have a flag where you can say if you get to the top and you press up, if let's say if that flag's true, you'll go from the top one to the bottom one, so you'll cycle back around, or you can't go any further than the top and any further than the bottom as well, because you know some games have this, some games don't. I like it that you can go above and below, and just basically resets back, but for the user you may not want that. Labels, again, that shouldn't be much of an issue over a duration. See, again, we don't need that for the simple reason we've got a tick. I don't know what it's actually called now. Not QT, is it? We got sequence. Yeah, well, we've got a ticking thing built in, so you would just whack that into a label, so we don't need that. And FPS, all this stuff is going to be built on top of the label stuff. Text box is what I think might be a bit of an issue and take a bit of time, potentially. And I think we should be using the drawable. We'll be using this. So a lot of this will be applicable. Don't think we're going to be doing this. Use drawable class. Maybe have a GUI class that inherits drawable and button inherits GUI, for example. Something like that potentially, because that GUI stuff might have a few extra things potentially. We'll have a look. Let's build that. Don't even start to create your own GUI system. That will be a never-ending story. Using GUI for your purpose, yeah, everything you will ever need. So one of the reasons I want to create my own one is so I can implement some of the features that we've added to our GUI stuff. So if we go to drawable, how did it open? Like the post feature, I liked that post feature, and I think that's a very common feature in games, especially with buttons. So again, it's going to be a simple GUI system. It's not going to be anything amazing. It'll be leveraging what's built into SFML, so you'll be able to put like some sort of text on there, this label. What really else is in GUI? Text box. Obviously, that's going to be a bit more manual looking. Radio and checkbox, obviously not 100% sure how we're going to do that. Probably some sort of shape, like two shapes, for example. And I think it'd be fun. I think probably a couple of weeks for the GUI system, and then we'll be onto these small things. Some of them smaller, some of them bigger, and then yeah, we'll be onto making some games. I've not seen Travis series on Vulkan, so yeah, we're gonna wrap up now. I want to say thank you very much to everyone, and I will see everyone tomorrow. I will be doing a gameplay live stream tomorrow earlier for Doom Eternal, and then the game engine coding live stream later on. So thanks for watching, and gonna go and have some food. You want to say bye bye?
Bye.
Bye everyone. Have a good night and have a good